What's good, y'all? Welcome to my first impressions for episode 1 of One Punch Man Season 2. I mentioned this before, but I'm only going to be talking about the first episode here. I'm not going to turn this into like a weekly series, where I'm going to be reviewing this series, or at least the dub of One Punch Man Season 2, week to week to week to week. I am just going to be, I'm just doing this one time for the series, just because, of course, you know how, because of how controversial this season was. Everything from it, you know, of course, being switched from Madhouse to JT Staff. Everyone bitching and complaining about the art and animation. Oh, it's not as good as JT's Madhouse, so it sucks, you know. And Chibi mentioned this in his review for the first episode, One Punch Man Season 2 as well. I actually went back and watched it after I watched the episode with the dub, just to see what he thought of it before I started recording my review. Or I should say today. He actually said, you know, that even if Madhouse came back, and for whatever, I don't even know why Madhouse was switched out in the first place. I don't know why, so maybe Shueisha decided to cheap out on it. I don't know why they switched at the beginning. Did Madhouse not want to do it? Did Shueisha not want them to do it? What the fuck was going on here? Why'd they even switch the studios to begin with? That's what I want to know. That's like my first question, but whatever the case may be, even if Madhouse did come back and they did do the season 2, it wouldn't have been good as the first one because apparently the director of One Punch Man had to call in a lot of favors to get a bunch of people in there to make it look as good as it did, and you can tell because season 1 looked fucking amazing. And even if Madhouse did come back, we couldn't have that same success because of how many favors had to be called in for that. So even if Madhouse did come back, it wouldn't have looked the same as it did in season 1. So, overall, what did I think about the first episode of One Punch Man Season 2 with the dub, obviously? Because I was thinking about watching it with the sub, but I was like, whatever, I'll just wait for the dub for it to air on Toonami. I thought it was solid. I thought this was really, really good. I thought this was a great start for One Punch Season 2, and I can never tell JC Staff's putting their all, because they were handed a shit hand with this. They're like, we have to compete against this when we got this. Like, because listen, what is like the best looking JC Staff anime a majority of us have seen? Food Wars. It's not exactly blowing anybody's minds with its animation. Yeah, sure, the food looks fucking amazing, but I don't think there's ever been a single moment in Food Wars where they use Sakuga, because there's no need for it, because all they're doing is making fucking food. They ain't fighting life or death. Maybe there were a couple scenes, I don't know, but there was never really any times where they really had to put it, like, really go ham with the Sakuga and anything. And any other shows I've seen with JC Staff aren't really that much more intensive as Food Wars is. And which, by the way, I'm so hyped for season 4. Apparently, I've seen pictures of the first episode. Rindo's the focus of it. Oh, yes! I can't wait to watch the first episode of Food Wars season 4, man, because Rindo is fucking best girl. Oh my god, I love Rindo. Oh my god, I love her. Sorry, I gotta review the film, yes, I'm daydreaming about that woman. I love Rindo, man. I can't wait to see that episode when the premium subscription goes, next week when the second episode comes. I don't have Crunchyroll Premium at all, and I'm not so impatient. I'm gonna pirate Food Wars. I'm just gonna wait till it gets unlocked for everyone to watch. So I can't wait to watch Food Wars season 4 and see Rindo. That's gonna be it because I fucking love Rindo. I wonder who they get her to voice for the dub if we ever get season 3 dubbed. I don't know. But that ain't neither here nor there. Anyway, I can definitely say JC Staff's trying to put their all into it. And yes, the art isn't as detailed as season 1. I think they even use darker colors as well, because it looks a little bit darker than season 1 was. But I thought it was overall great. Like, JC Staff put their all, and you can tell they're trying to do their best. I wouldn't say, the art animation is shit. Like, for the fight scenes, it looks good, but not as good as some other series. Now, I'm not going to be here just harping on the art and animation all the time. This is the only time I'm going to really discuss about the art and animation, other than, talk about how it, with the fights and everything. But overall, I think it's great. I think it looks good. And I'm not some stickler for huge art and animation, because I knew it wasn't going to be that good at first, so I'm not going to keep harping on it. If the show is still good, the story is still good, it's still, good, because of One Punch Man, yeah, they had epic fights, but the story was also really good, too. As long as the story is still good, I'm good. I'll be happy. I'll enjoy a season. Sure, it might not get me as hyped as season 1 with those cool-ass fights, but as long as the story is good, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. So, enough of me rambling. Let's just jump right into this episode. So, it starts it off. We got Saitama and Genos. They're walking around grabbing some stuff, and Genos asks Saitama, Master, we have already got, what else do we need to get? He's like, alright, well, we got the potluck ingredients, so all we need now is just toilet paper and shampoo. And we see this picture of this action figure of King, one of the strong two heroes, which I actually completely forgot King was even in Season 1. I legit haven't seen Season 1 since it finished airing on Toonami back in 2016. That was 3 years ago, and I forgot what he was in Season 1. I don't even remember. And one thing that completely shocked me I found out is that the voice actor who plays Genos is the same guy that plays Koichi in JoJo Diamond and Sombrero, which shocked me because I'm like, the two voices are very distinct. Genos, I was ready to was like, Master, what else do we need to get? And then, then we got JoJo, he's like, JoJo, he's like, oh my god, I'm like, what the hell, this is the same guy? Yeah, I forget his name, it's like Zach something. I was like, man, this guy got some range, he can get his voice hella deep, and then he got him as Koichi. As well as he's also voicing, the MC in Demon Slayer, which also, let me talk about the dub right quick for Demon Slayer. The show just debuted this week, and I gotta say, I love the dub. They have Koichi voicing the MC for that one. I forget the dude's name, I'm so sorry. I don't know who's voicing Nezuko. Johnny Umbage is in there, he's the guy with the guy that almost kills Nezuko. And the dub cast they got for everyone else was great across the board, and I'm looking forward to watching Demon Slayer again with the dub. I still have yet to finish it up. I'm on episode 19, which I think is the episode where everyone lost their shit about, and that's the episode that got trending. So, yeah, I'm gonna need to get a copy and finish up the sub, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching Demon Slayer with the English dub. And I'm curious how the the guys that watch Toonami are gonna react to episode 19, because we know how it happened with the sub drop, but I'm curious if it'll just be as trending when it was on Toonami. Anyway, so quick little thoughts on the dub of Demon Slayer, and we got JoJo's Golden Wind next week, which you guys don't be reviewing that. Can't wait for JoJo. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So. So you got Genos, and then Genos pulls out his flip phone. He's like, "I will call the toy companies." Inside, he was like, "Nah, this is a don't call us, we'll call you situation." And we then see this monster, this frog guy come out. This frog guy is there. He's like, hello everyone, I am here to kill you," and everything. Like One Punch Man has probably some of the weirdest design villains we've seen. Like, we had that one guy, that huge mech guy, that huge giant guy from Season 1. We had the crab guy, and now we got this Toad. Like, these are such comic book villains that you would see in some C-level Marvel comic, or just a superhero comic in general, a C-level one. And it has its charm, weirdly. It has its weird charm with these kind of villains, these C-ranked villains, man. They have their charm to them. So the dude's they got the women be like, no! She's covering her chest and everything. Let's be honest, he could do a lot with that tongue. But, so the dude comes in there, then we see King, the number 7 hero in S-Class, and we just hear the sounds like a fucking drum, and they say that, that's the King's engine. And then no one hears, and no one survived. No one that hears it survives, they feel it anyway. So, and then once he sees King, he's like, oh my god, he's on his hands and knees begging for forgiveness. He's like, no, please, King, do not kill me. And the other crowd, he's like, yeah, grovel, motherfucker, fuck you, they're all over him about this. And so, after that, I just felt it really funny. They're like this, and then the King's like, everyone's like, oh my god, King, can I shake your hand? They're all just crowding. The guy's like, I have things to which I'm pretty sure actually the guy that plays King is the same kind of voice as Kenpachi Zaraki in Bleach. His voice sounds very similar. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I'll have to check the cast to make sure. But anyway, so he's like, I have things to do. Can you make it way? And he's like, yes, sir. Yes, our Lord and Savior. Yes, sir. So he gets through. We then see him go into a video game shop, and he gets his game. It's one of those, fan service, I'm pretty sure visual nugget. I forget what it was called. It was Panty Sisters Panty Sisters 2 Limited Edition. I think that was the title of the game. It was something. It had sisters in the title. It was as you could tell from the cover, it's a very fan servicey heavy game. He's like, nothing like the walk back from a game you've been waiting for. Which, yeah, that's gonna be me that was me when I got Spire PS4. I was so excited to play the game, and I can't wait to play The Last of Us 2, as well as Final Fantasy Remake. That's gonna be some hype shit. Anyway. So, after that, So after that, we see Genos and and Saitama. They're they kind of see him going into the video game store and coming out with the game. They're like, Master, it appears that he is King, the god that has outraged you relatively quickly. And they're like, yeah. And then another villain appears out. This guy with his voice sounds so familiar in the dub. I don't know who voices him, but it sounds familiar. I'm gonna check the cast to see who voices guy because his voice sounded very familiar. But anyways, this big mecha robot guy, this king, he's like, and then we hear the again. I love the sound of it. I love that. I love it sound, man. So and you're like, so yeah, you know my rank, and King plays this off very badassly. He's like, so you know my rank, and you know my status, yet you still come to fight me. He's like, killing you is what I have been built for. Something along those lines. Like, all right, but I gotta take a shit. If I hold this on very long, if I have to hold it in, I can only exert 50% of my power. I give you 10 minutes. Any minute more. After that, I kill 10 people. We then see him in the bathroom. We find out he's a complete fucking pussy. He is essentially One Punch Man's Mr. Satan. Now, you guys know, if you guys watch my super reviews, I fucking despise Mr. Satan. I can't fucking stand him. Here, King, I like him because he knows he's fucked up and he doesn't play like he's his ultimate badass. At least not on purpose. Like Mr. Singh does. He's just not a creep. So anyway, so he's like, oh my god, I'm terrified. I'm nothing more than a 29-year-old otaku loser. And he's like, no, there's no king engine. That's just the sound of my heart beating. I love that sound, man. And and the dudes went if there's one thing JC Staff did great here, it's here. The art here is hella detailed, and you can see the sweat. He's just like, fuck, It's great stuff. It was comedical. This is, one style of comedy, man. I love it. And I still need to finish up Mob Psycho Season 2. I'm almost done with it. I got 2 episodes left of that season. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I've been really digging Mob Psycho Season 2. Season 2 for Mob Psycho has been really good. Awesome, man. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So, the dude's like, there it is again. What am I supposed to do? There's gotta be a way out. And then eventually we see him get out of the bathroom. He has his hoodie up and everything. And then we see Genos fighting the guy. He's like, someone's fighting in my place. I'm free! So Genos is fighting the robot. The art animation here looked really good, honestly. And and then we see him kind of fighting, lifting against his foot. And Saito's like, hey, you need any help, Genos, with your power? I don't think I mentioned this before, but I fucking love Saitama's English voice. I love his voice, man. He's fucking perfect for the character, man. I love it. It's like, oh yeah, he sounds so bored. It's just great, man. I love it. He's like, and then sounds like, no, you gave me a goal. And this is where I kind of started to hear Koichi in there. And Genesis' voice right here is like, no, you gave me a goal. I can kind of hear Koichi in there. He's like, God, break it through right there with reverb or echoes. Excuse me, Anyway, so and then Simon's like, oh, okay, try the rules, and he just walks away while Genos takes care of it. We then head over back to King. He's gone back in his party. He's like, whew, I made it back. That monster was horrifying. It's gonna give me nightmares. Let me just play my new game and forget about it. So then he puts in Heartbeat Hottie Sisters 2. That's the title of the game, Heartbeat Hottie Sisters. He goes in there, boots up the console, puts the disc in, turns on his TV, and she's like, hi there, big fella. What did you put in your name? He's like, oh, the Heartbeat Hottie Sisters series knows how to do their intros. Yet there was no intro, unless you're just talking about the main menu, but whatever, man. So then he's like, what should be my name? And then we see Saitama randomly behind him. He's like, King seems fine. No, not my hero name. If people hear things like, hey there, King, then they might, NANI? And they realize that Saitama's behind. He's like, what the fuck? What the hell is he doing here? And Saitama's like, oh, I came in through the window. He's like, yeah, but I'm 22 floors up. So then King gets out. He's like, you must know my hero, my rank, and you must know my hero name, my rank. It's like, yeah, that's why I came up here. And it's like, hello. He's like, and he's just like, who is this guy? You know? Oh no! Right here, he's like, I didn't know. And then we see, and they realizes that Saitama was at the Hero little press conference thing from back in season 1. They even also played the clip from season 1, which I'm sure everybody at the time was like, oh man, why can't the show look like that? The show looks like shit. You know, all that stuff. I'm not gonna harp on the animation because I knew it wasn't gonna be that as good as season 1. And I just like, if the story's good and the animation still looks decent, I'll be fine. Anyway, so and then Saitama gets like that normal look, not that like one, like you know how Saitama most of the time is drawn with one style. Here's when he actually has like the slanted eyes and everything. He looks more like he does in the actual manga. So he's like, I never thought you were the person to play this sort of game. He's like, oh yeah, and then Saitama picks up this mech game. He's like, oh yeah, is this the game you play? He's like, oh yeah, you control roll, yeah, that's more my kind of game. I thought this was an action game too, but then it was just some cheapy romance game. Damn, I bought the wrong one. And he slams the game case on the floor, and Saitama's like, it says Heartbeat Hottie Sisters in front. He's like, I thought it said Heartblood Hatred Slaves. Oh, I've been scammed. I'm tossing it. Here was probably a fair part of the episode, man. This is just fucking hilarious. Where he's just like, and there was also this other part where I think it was when Genos fought when Saitama picked up the game. He's like, oh, kill me now, Not Genos, Saitama, and man, this is probably a fair part of the episode. This had me fucking dying right here, ladies and gentlemen. This had me fucking dying. So anyway, after that, they end up deciding, they're gonna play the mech game. We head over back to Genos, back to Genos. He's fighting the robot once again, like I mentioned before. Here, the animation looks really, really good. Here, really, really good. You got Genos flipping around. He lands on top of the robot, incinerate, and then the robot just starts melting. He's like, "You're now nothing more than melted magma. Your size was your downfall." And then we see something rise from the body, and we find it's pretty much the robot in its true form. Lasers shoot out of it, and Genos dodges them. Before we head over back to Saitama, they're playing the game. Drink some orange juice out of juice boxes, and they're like, yeah, man, you're really good at this. He's like, yeah, well, I played I won a couple of video game tournaments in my day. Goes to the territory. It's like, oh, so you're a great hero as well as a top tier gamer. Nice. And he's like, how long is this dude gonna be here? Just go home already. And so then Saitama just gets to the point. It's like, so why did you leave the battle? And he's like, and he's like, and then Saitama asks him, it's because that you're like tired or bored, that you fight too many, that you're too strong, and you fought too many opponents, that you just bores you. In other words, he's asking if Saitama has another person like him, some self-reflecting. I thought it was pretty cool. That's why he's like, oh yeah, so you're like me, where you're just fucking bored, for being a hero. And by this point, the man's sweating like crazy right here, boys. So then we get back to Genos. He's fighting up against this robot. The dude's firing layers. Genos gets into like this little area of the staircase. He's like, I have to do something about these beams. Finds a fire extinguisher, throws it at the guy. He fires him off at them. Throws the fire extinguisher at the robot. The robot fires his beams right at the fire extinguisher. The Genos then pulls off and gets this opening or whatever and then unleashes water. There's a bunch of pretty much a mini flood there. And then Genos kind of uses his wires in his hand to bring him closer. And he's like, you are here to look to get data on King. Yet I know someone who is stronger. Of course, referring to Saitama. And so the dude's still sweating like crazy, and the next thing we know, this bird comes in out of nowhere, crashes into King's apartment. Saitama is holding this thing back with one hand, and he's just like, oh, this guy came into your apartment. It's like they're homing in on you. You gotta fight it. Instead, you're hoping. He's like, come on, universe, give me a break. I'm no hero. Oh God, it's just a bunch of lies. I've never even been in a fight. I just keep everything up in place. And then we see in the background a bunch of people that Saitama faced on the first episode, I think, of One Punch Man, second episode of One Punch Man. Those big, huge monster things, those kaiju things. We see those guys, and he's just like, he runs away from them, but always takes the track, because Saitama always leaves, And he's like, I'm a bunch of lies, He tells him, he's like, I gotta tell him I'm nothing but a fraud, And he's like, listen, man, and then And then we hear next thing we know, we see these slow-mo shots of Genos with the robot, and back here we see Saitama slowly turn around and punches the crow, but we don't actually see the punch. Next thing we see after that whole thing said and done, we see the crow's already on the ground, missing its head, and Saitama was like, "Oh, so you're not really an actual hero? It's all lies?" And then he said, "So when you pissed your pants, that was legit." And then we see the man legit fucking pissed his pants, and it was not a pretty sight. And so from there, kind of had a little discussion. We get a little more backstory of King, how he got those scars. He was against this monster that Saitama faced off when he still had his hair. And he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Ah!" And then Saitama comes out to him. He's like, "Hey man, it's okay. Try to open your eye. Is it okay?" And he's like, "Oh, can you see?" And he's like, his eyes are fine. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Oh, me? I'm just a hero I'm just a man trying to be a hero for the fun of it." And from there, we kind of fade into Saitama now, of course, bald and everything. And he's like, "It's you." And then he starts crying, He's like, "I'm sorry." And then he tells him he's sorry. And then we got his costume to him, and he says, So you're telling me that that's all lies, but you're everyone's hero nowadays? He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm a nobody." He's like, No. Well, however that happened doesn't matter. But everyone looks at you like you're a hero. Everyone trusts you. It's like he's kind of like, I would almost say like All Might in a way, where like once he enters the building, people suddenly have hope that everything's gonna be okay. That's pretty much the role King has for here, at least, kind of, sort of comparing the two. And then he's like, so are you going to just tell them, that you're lying or not? He's like, "I don't have the heart to decide." So I was like, look, man, you got to pick one option then. And then he leaves, telling them that he's going to come back every once in a while to play some games with him. And then Saitama takes his leave. We then head over to Genos. Genos is now like half his face is burnt off, and then you can just see his exoskeleton. Which, if there's one thing about the art that I will legit complain about, is that when we see Genos talking right here, this jaw right here from the exposed art doesn't move at all. His lips move, but not like this part right here. JC Stout, come on. Was it too much for you to just have his jaw completely move? Because it just looks odd with his lip moving, and yet his jaw is staying still. It bothers me. I'm like, you couldn't get that to move? You couldn't do it? No, it looked like, why isn't his jaw moving? Like, it just looks so obvious, But anyway, he tells them, like, "Oh, can you get this, I finished this robot, can you, like, install any parts from him to me, yada, yada, yada." The scientist is like, "Genos, how did you get your hands on this?" He's like, and then he goes on about, like, "I need to get stronger. And then, they keep going on. He's like, "Alright, I'll do it. You've been needing some upgrades anyway." And then talk about how, which I completely forgot about Genos' backstory in season 1, about how, that family got killed by some cyborg, and he's out for revenge to kill it, and he tells him, if you ever find him, don't go out on your own. Contact me. This is something you can't do, you can't do on your own. And he's like, "Alright." So we then head over to Hero HQ. Got this dude here, organized this meeting with a bunch of the villains, with the criminal underworld. They come in there, and then we see San, and he's like, "Hey man, is Saitama here?" They tell him, like, excuse me. There's 3 heroes with him. Most of their voices sound familiar. They're like, I don't know. There were so many voices in here that I found so familiar that I legit got shot the cast listing just to know which all. Because I swear to God, most of these guys sound familiar. Especially the guys that voiced Magic Man and Blue Fire. I think it was the other guy. They sounded very familiar. I don't know where I recognize where they're from. Anyway, no, I think one of them was from Gundam Origins. One of the three were from Gundam Origins. But anyway, so he's telling them, like, and he's like, just save unrelated questions till later. He's like, "Oh, so Saitama's here." So then he pulls out like this sheet of papers and just reads off everything he was gonna say, just completely buries the guy. And then he's like, "Oh, so this is." He says, he tells about the prophecy that this huge storm will befall of the Hero Society. That there's the Tiger level threats and beyond have got skyrocketed. Yada yada yada. We guys need your help to help us out with this. And he's like, and then he throws him into the air. He's like, "That is what you got us here for? You can count me out." And Sonic leaves. He's like, "Why, you little motherfucker!" We end the episode off with Sonic, talking about how he wants to find Saitama. We see the other chick, the blue hero number rank 1, Hellish Blizzard, which the amount of hentai I've seen in that woman is fucking ridiculous. So I hope she has a nice character, because I've seen so much hentai of her. so much hentai? Why is there so much hentai on her? Anyway, so so that's pretty much the episode ends. She unlocks the gate, and then they're both looking for Saitama. And then in the end credits, we hear the OP. Holy fuck! If there's one thing JD Staff shits on season 1, it's the OP. Like, Jam Project once again came back to do the opening, and my god, this OP completely shits on the first one, man. The music is so fucking hype. I was just like, it just goes, Daka. It's so fucking hype. I'm sure the animation isn't as good, but my god, the music, the song, ugh! My god, I need to hear the full song. I hope the god's on Spotify so I can bang to that song, because rock out to, because it's a fucking banger, dog. And that's where the episode ends. I love in the ending shot, you see Saitama with Earth. It's super detailed like it is in the manga. Then, the last shot of Saitama holding the Earth with his fist up in, like, one's art style. I thought that was kind of funny. Because we know the man can't draw for shit. That was pretty fun. That's where the episode ends. Overall, great starting point for One Punch Man. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed what I saw. The comedy was great. Saitama was fantastic. I love the dub cast. And I just can't wait to see what more we got Saitama. And then we also did the post-credits and we get this new character that says, like, this prophecy sounds good. I know he's in the poster, and I think he's going to become a main part of the cast. So I'm looking forward to see what he gets. Sure, because he was all over the posters. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy to see the rest of One Punch Man Season 2. If you guys want to know what I think of the rest of the series, follow me on my social medias, Twitter and Instagram, most specifically Twitter. I'll probably be tweeting about One Punch Man there, hopefully. So you guys want to know what I think about the rest of the season, definitely follow me there. So overall, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you'd like to subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.